Guess what, Dana?
What?
We're live.
Good.
Wow. Try to contain the excitement now. Try to hold it in just a little. Hi, everybody. We're live. So how are you?
You don't want to ask that question.
Okay, never mind.
Not when we're ostensibly here to entertain people.
That's right, Dana. We are here to entertain people. We're here to bring joy to the masses. What?
Good thing this is on your channel. The masses.
I mean, the couple dozen people, the couple dozen people that typically watch these on Wednesdays.
No, my brain went to, oh my God, are you calling them fat?
Oh no, I didn't say
you would not
bring
make a
joy.
Fat joke.
Never.
You didn't say bring joy to the massives?
The massives. No, I didn't.
Yeah, so you know yeah. what I always do? That you know what I always do too much.
You always do too much, yes, just in general.
In general, yeah. Well, did I tell you about the new thing that I'm gonna do?
You mentioned something about something, but I can't remember what it is.
Next week?
It didn't. Go ahead. What is it?
Guess who's having?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. There's the town hall meeting. Yes, with your illustrious, and I use the term incredibly ironically, representative in Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Ill-famed.
Ill-famed.
I think
shitty.
But famous for it.
Famously shitty. Your famously shitty member of Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh,
so
why?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, thank you, Bifocal Prime. Bifocal Prime says, I'm from Mexico. I've been binge watching your Star Trek videos for a while now. Just want to say I enjoy them very much. Your perspectives are funny, deep, and just great. Oh, I like you. Thank you, Bifocal Prime.
You know what? You should. So, Bifocal Prime, you're right.
Oh, that's so sweet that you would say that they were right for saying nice things about me. Oh, also, okay, so Azalea Jane in the chat has shared that that she has been watching the classic Star Trek movies recently for the first time in a long time, and just watched Star Trek V.
Okay.
And is now having whiplash from going from that to Deep Space Nine. And yeah, with Star Trek V especially, I can kind of see that. Star Trek V is not one of the better ones and is one of the sort of goofier ones. I still have a place in my heart for it.
It's one of the odd numbered ones, so we know what that means.
Well, but now one of these days the patrons are going to vote for that one in the poll, and I'm going to make that video because I believe that is a myth. Something that the odd numbered Star Trek movies are bad and the even numbered Star Trek movies are good. I firmly believe that is a myth.
So, okay, I'll ask you a simpler question. It does not require a full video. Which odd numbered Star Trek movie do you find better than an even Star Trek movie? And which one or ones of those?
Well, it's not so much that an odd numbered one is better than an even numbered one. It's that the odd numbered ones aren't all bad.
Right, but okay. So you're saying that I always thought it wasn't.
I'll give here's a great actually I can answer that.
Yes, that it said good and bad, but it's more meant as relative to each other.
I can answer that now that I've had a second, and I had because you know the next generation ones aren't numbered, so I have to kind of count them out and go, okay, that was Star Trek 3, and Azalea just is right there with me. Star Trek 3 really solid movie, really good movie. Star Trek 10, which is Star Trek Nemesis, worst Star Trek movie ever. So that right there kind of busts it. You know, that Star Trek 3 is terrific and Star Trek Nemesis, which is the 10th one, is the shits. Is absolutely so it's like
they got all the way through they got all the way through the single digits. And when double digits, they're like, we're gonna wreck that tradition.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the first, like Star Trek 1, Star Trek the Motion Picture, is not great, but it's not like bad. It's just too long and takes way too long to get started. But like, it's not, you know, embarrassing or anything. It's just kind of slow. Star Trek 3 is not as good as Star Trek 2, and I think that's where Star Trek 3 kind of got a reputation as not being one of the good ones, because it comes after Star Trek 2, which is quite possibly the best one. Yeah. And then but it also comes before Star Trek 4, which is a ton of fun and made a huge pile of money, right? And is a lot of people's favorite, and is terrific, is a great movie. So it's kind of in the middle of those two really popular ones. But Star Trek 3 is terrific. Star Trek 3 is very good. Kirok says the odd number Star Trek films are always bad. Star Trek 3 and Insurrection, then of course, and even 1, Nemesis, that is the worst. And yeah, I agree, Kirok. Yes, Nemesis is the worst. Yeah.
So David Corton says the pattern is fixed if you include Galaxy Quest as a Star Trek movie. So did that come in did that come in between Star Trek 9 and 10, so it would push everything back one?
Yes. Galaxy Quest was 1999, so that would have been before after Insurrection, but before Nemesis. So yes, that would knock it back into place. Yes.
There you go.
But again, it's
further evidence that Galaxy Quest really is a Star Trek movie.
But again, I mean, Star Trek 3 busts it before that, though, because Star Trek 3 is in no way, shape, or form a bad movie.
Again, like I said, I've always thought, I've never thought they meant like truly awful movies. They meant relative to each other are the bad ones of the group and the good ones of the group.
Yeah, I mean, I will give it this much. The very, very best ones are, it just so happens, the even numbered ones. Like I mean, Star Trek 2, Star Trek 6, Star Trek 8, which is First Contact. Like those are, for me, those are my.
Seen that one. Yeah. When did that come out?
First Contact?
Yeah, never mind.
96.
That would have been, that would have been before. But I think I saw that one in theaters.
First Contact?
I remember liking it. But
yeah. Oh, it's terrific. Yeah, and then the Kelvin timeline ones, the ones with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, etc.
Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto.
The sexy ones, the one where they said, let's do Star Trek, but cast sexy people as the characters. Those, I like all three of those. So that completely tosses it out the window. I mean, so.
Yep.
255 AD, we were just talking about that. I think Search for Spock is a terrific movie. I like it a lot. And Azalea, I've never actually, I don't think I've ever watched one of Rowan J. Coleman's videos. Nothing, I mean, no particular reason. I don't think
you don't watch a whole lot of YouTube videos.
That's true. I watch as someone who does YouTube videos for a living, I watch a surprisingly small number of YouTube videos.
I mean, I guess I could say the same. You know, as someone who is a teacher for a living, I watch surprisingly few number of teachers, but that's because usually when other teachers are teaching, so am I. So not really something you can do in the downtime.
Yeah. Hey, Caitlin.
So I'm probably going to go to the thing.
Yeah, the town meeting.
It's rough because like I don't know how it's going to go. Like I'm going, the real hope that I have when I'm going is that I'm going to be able to connect with other people from the district who aren't like right here. but or especially those who are willing to go. I'm curious, but it's down near Marietta, so or somewhere in that area. So it's going to be a heck of a drive, and then driving back, it's going to be late. So yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as how it goes, I mean, I hope it gets ugly. I hope so. Well, I hope people there start some shit.
Nice. That would be nice. I'm not counting on that. I'm you know, even if it's just a few but faithful, I'm hoping that there are some. I'm hoping. We'll see. I'm just not sure. I'm surprised she's having it that far south, to be honest, because it's closer to Atlanta, which is like it's little pocket of comfort in Georgia.
Yeah. Captain, I like Insurrection too. I made a whole video about why I think Insurrection is better than a lot of people think it is.
A lot of people are wrong.
I like Insurrection. Well, it's a matter of opinion now, Dana. It's a matter
of
opinion.
Yes, and people's opinions can be wrong.
Not people's opinions can be in disagreement with mine or with yours, but that does not mean they are objectively wrong. I may use language like wrong to describe it, but if I do so, I am only speaking subjectively and using that as a way of referencing our disagreement. I love that you are like misprecise for everything. And then in this one way, when I'm like, well, wrong doesn't really mean objectively wrong in this case. It means, you know, subjective disagreement. And you're just like, blah, blah, blah.
Only because it's funny. Hey, Mr. System 96. So 255 AD, that is probably the reason I'm going, because I'm like,
why are there any Republicans still doing town halls?
I'm very curious. Is she just that confident that hers is going to go well? Will it? I hope not.
I mean, she's not too bright. That's one thing we can say about her. In addition to her many other qualities, she's just not a very bright person.
Unless somebody is wrong, then we can call them no opinions. So, yeah.
So that's next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really tired. Today was hard at school.
But school is over now, and you get to relax and watch Star Trek with me and with our wonderful people in the chat.
Hello, wonderful people in the chat. Yes. HB Haga, you know, that would have been a good idea, but lately it's been kind of chilly. Also, you know, if anything does go down, you want to be wearing closed-toe shoes in that case.
That's true. Much better for kicking. You need the protection.
Oh, I was thinking just getting around the furniture.
Or that.
See, exactly, Philip. Only when it's funny. Although that applies. Our household rule is lying. You can only lie when it's funny. You know what's not?
Yeah.
You know what's not funny, Steve?
What's not funny, Dana?
Children doing drugs.
Well, I mean, I'm not prepared to say that as an absolute universal statement. I mean, I'm sure there are times when children doing drugs could be really hilarious.
No, I'm good with saying that's universal.
I mean, like, what if you have like a 3-month-old baby?
No, that was funny. Oh, so how has your day been? I hope it's been
I mean, I think it's been better than yours. I don't really feel like complaining about anything, so I think it's been better than yours.
You exercised.
I did. I exercised more than usual because I did my normal morning workout, and then I did my hour on the bike, and then I also took a walk.
Woo!
Because it was such a lovely day today, and I found myself in the mid-afternoon, sort of between things to do, where I had gotten pretty much everything done that I needed to get done today. And I still had a few hours before this. And I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, it's a nice day out. I'll go for a walk. And that's what I did. So
it was cold this morning down here.
It was cold. It was same here. It was below freezing this morning here.
Same here.
But it got up to the low 50s. I believe it is still the low 50s here. But yeah, 53 right now. But the sun is out and was out during my walk. So it was a bright, shiny day. And, you know, I put on my sweatshirt and I was fine. Went for a walk.
Comfy, cozy.
There were a bunch of fucking people in the park, but that's okay. I could
because they also knew that it was a lovely day.
There was like a group there.
Why are you moving around? Stop.
I don't know. You know, I was when we first got on the Zoom call together, I told you, I don't know if you could even hear me because you didn't.
Yeah, she said something about me looking like I was in a Batman villain hat because I hadn't put
because you had like a Dutch angle on your camera, and every time I see a camera with a Dutch angle, like my head, the Batman villain music automatically plays in my head. It's like an instantaneous music cue. As soon as I see a Dutch angle, in my head it goes dun 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 dun.
Which villain is that for?
They use it for a lot of them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they're HB Haggett. Dun 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 dun. Yep. Yeah, see, Captain, so what about kids that are on drugs for medical reasons? That can be funny.
Doped up for medical reasons isn't doing drugs.
And by the way, listen.
And that's why I didn't say on drugs, because let me tell you that there's got to be kids like that. I don't know. Have I made you watch that Taylor Swift video that her mom sent to Jimmy Fallon?
The banana one? I don't believe so.
Oh my God, you have to watch that. She said she had like LASIK. Because her vision was, you know, getting to where she was going to need glasses, and that wasn't her image, and also she wasn't used to it, and so she's just had it, and her mom had the phone out and was taping her as she was doped up, and she wanted a banana. She's like, but there's two of them, and they're stuck together. She's like, well, it's okay, we can take care of that. And she pulls one off of this. She's, that's not the one I wanted. She's just like so weepy and emotional. And her mom's like, you can't, just try not to cry because you're not supposed to, because she's just had this surgery on her eyes. Because she just had
eye surgery.
Yes. Yeah. She's like, no, I'm okay. And it cuts back to her and she's just like, where did you get this? Where did you get this? She just sounds like horrified. Just horrified. And Jimmy Fallon,
who do you work for?
Legitimately just died. He's like, your mom said it to me. Your mom said that to me. She's like, my, just this horror and betrayal. Like this isn't happening. And I
know who's getting kicked out of the house. Her billionaire daughter bought for her. Oh, you think it's funny sending videos of Jimmy Fallon, huh? You got 3 days to get the fuck out. Pack your shit.
So I'm really curious, why you're a, well, first of all, you are a professional, but also you're a nerd. Why is it called a Dutch angle?
You know, I'm not actually sure why it's called a Dutch angle. I just know that's what it's called. I am honestly, I am unsure of the etymology of that particular term. I just know that's what it's called.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So shall we watch some Star Trek?
Let's go for it. I actually managed, because so y'all, just if you're watching on Paramount Plus, we had an ad beforehand, so you might want to cue it up and play through the ad. Because...
Actually, you said you did. I didn't have one. But it varies. But yeah.
Well,
but if you just,
I hope I don't get another one when we try to. Excuse me, got a little hit there.
Well, I don't think you shouldn't. God damn it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll survive.
But yes, if you do start the episode and you have a preview for something, just watch through that and then
zoop. See, for all of you guys have probably all seen this. So it's just like, yay, just watching back along, you know, comfort viewing. But I'm just like, I know stuff is going to happen. And of course, stuff, this is back when like TV was like you were locked in. So like if something happened and you were late getting back from work, you know, you might miss the beginning.
Okay, HB Haggett and Caitlin both have some info on. Okay, Air One Fire, you have 3 minutes. We're going to talk about Dutch angles for a little bit more.
Can we do that? HB Haggett, you got 3 minutes of stuff to say about Dutch angles?
Well, if Air One Fire has to catch up, it's fine. That's what the time code's for. But anyway, HB Haggett and Caitlin both have some info on Dutch angle. Apparently, it is a corruption of Deutsch, meaning German, because it originated in German expressionist films.
Which that kind of happens a lot.
Like, I mean, yeah, that could Pennsylvania Dutch. It's the exact same thing. It's what's that word? Dutch? No, Deutsch. Dutch.
Deutsch.
Nein, Deutsch. Dutch.
Deutsch.
And that's how we got Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yep.
They say Dutch real funny up there.
Did I tell you about I told my student who stayed after I told her yesterday, she also stayed after today.
Yes.
I told you about the why a margarita is called a margarita, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, I told my student that's I mean, that's why part of why I'm an English student. That's the kind of thing that if I happen to wake up at like 3 a.m. I'm just like, yeah, it's really interesting because like English has a lot of words that have come over from like French and Spanish and stuff because of the Norman conquest of England, right?
Sure.
However, the daisy does not come that way because that's why a margarita is called a margarita. It's because it's yellow, and a margarita is also a daisy, like in Spanish.
Right. And
it's just interesting that there's like so far apart. Just like there's no, you know, they're called two different things. And it's interesting to me that when we have cognates and when we don't. I just think it's cool.
Yep. Our fucked up language. Anyway, so would you like to explain?
Did we get to 3 minutes? So yeah. So whenever you get back here, we've got a little bit of time. Yeah. Look at this thingy bob up here. Is it up here yet?
Yes. Well, the numbers aren't, but the time code line is. Yes.
Okay. So the little spot here, there will be numbers here. So if we're saying stuff and there's stuff going on in like the chat, and you're like, that does not match what I'm seeing on my screen, just check your numbers and check our numbers, and if they don't match up, make them, close-ish.
Exactly.
See, exactly, Empire Jeff, just like that. Just follow along inside your head, and there will be some times when there's not much going on here, and you'll just have to follow along in your head with what's there for me. So the time code, once you got your episode pulled up, put it all the way back as close to 0000 as you can. I am actually on 0000, which is why I'm hoping there will not be another ad. Just right. It kind of feels like, but it doesn't really matter. So anyway, then make sure that you are hovering over where you can get it to play, whether it's your remote or your cursor or whatever else. And then when Steve says 3, 2, 1, play, and Steve says play, we all press play together. And then we watch it together. Ta-da!
That's how it happens. And yes, because someone mentioned in the chat, just in case you don't know, it is season 6, episode 2, Rocks and Shoals. All right, Dana, are you ready?
I am so ready.
All right, I'll count us down and we'll all watch Rocks and Shoals together. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, play.
Nope, I didn't get an ad.
Woo!
Just starting with pump, pump, pump.
Yeah, dramatic music.
It didn't say that it was dramatic music, though. It usually does. There it is.
Oh, they got us. Nice going, Dax. Oh no, they're falling into the purple. Yeah, Caitlin, I had the same thing. The safety rail, Dax, it fucking falls right over as soon as she touches it. Oh no.
Dun dun dun.
Isn't it incredible how no matter where they happen to be in the vastness of space, there's always a planet right there?
Unless they need a beauty shot that focuses on the ship.
Well, yeah. Yeah, 255 AD. And that's another thing, especially about more modern sci-fi stuff. Like they really make space look super pretty, but it only really looks that way from a long distance. Like if the ship was right there, it wouldn't really. It wouldn't. Well, it's like, you know, you look at a cloud up in the sky, and it looks like a big white fluffy cloud. But if you were inside the cloud, it would just be kind of foggy. Like you wouldn't be, you know, in the middle of like a marshmallow.
No, but it's interesting because when you're moving through the cloud, you get like different, there's patchiness to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite times to work up at Rock City is when there's clouds like below us.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you go out, oh my gosh, I call it the edge of the world. You go out and it's just like, there's nothing. And it's kind of scary because you're like, okay, I know that it's really far down there, but like you can't see the bottom because there's like a little bit of drop and then the cloud cover. And it's just like,
yeah,
it could be like the cliffs of insanity.
Yeah. And Liz has a good point too. A lot of the like the Hubble Space Telescope images and things like that are not the most famous versions of them are not in natural color.
I wonder about that sometimes because you can never see with somebody else's eyes, you know?
Well, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like a mixture of infrared and X-ray and, you know, that kind of thing.
Reconnoiter.
Dibs on a stereo.
Does it?
Oh, they're Republicans. Just put your legs down, Nog. Just plant your feet.
Don't forget though, he's short.
That's true.
Seems like it's the perfect time to lie down on the job. Just sort of yank her out of there. Like she has a what sucking puncture to the. I tore my best pants. I'm worried about the redhead.
Are you worried maybe you shouldn't get too attached?
I'm like, so we have a whole bunch of people that I know and one person that I don't.
I hope the new person is okay by the end of the episode.
I was thinking at first it was Dax. I'm like, oh no, Dax is still lying there. They didn't fix her up real quick. Uh-oh, I don't know her. I mean, I know her.
Yeah. Another fun day under a fascist occupation. Well, thanks for stopping by, Jen.
I farted. She gets in the elevator and says, I don't like any of you. I'm going to let
here we go. Enjoy the ride, fellas.
You are wrong, but I understand.
We need some white power. Don't say it that way. Don't. Yep, it's Kevin, everybody's favorite Vorta. Oh, other than Wei Yun, of course. Everyone's favorite non-Wei Yun Vorta. Oh, I love the face. Thanks for the trivia there, Empire Jeff. Terry Farrell's scenes were filmed inside a cave. Like a real life cave?
Uh-oh. Shush. You don't want to say, don't attract any attention. Do, 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 do.
Surrounded by doomsday. Yeah, so Nog saying, you tied me up and tried to kill me, and Garrick responding with, there were extenuating circumstances, is one of my favorite exchanges.
Oh, is his friend called Harold? Are they going to White Castle?
We were on our way to White Castle when we were waylaid, and Garrick.
Bring them to me. Oh. I understand the instructions that I'm supposed to carry out. There is what I meant.
You are just a dumb doomsday man. You don't understand things. You just do what I say.
How am I supposed to do what you say if I don't understand what you say? Oh, Jake. He is trying so hard, Caitlin. Bless his widow heart.
Hi, Jamie Ann. Well, that takes care of it then.
Yes, but did they cross their heart when they made that promise?
We won't hurt nobody, we promise.
Oh, they're just here hunting rabbits.
The space Nazis have promised they mean no harm, so I think there's no problem at all.
Yeah. Oh, I've come up with a new type of musical instrument. I'm going to demonstrate it.
Exactly. The demonstration of the incredible horseless carriage. Only a little.
Just the one?
Uh-oh. It's
Hails
another guy.
bales.
It's another guy we don't know.
And we didn't even see him before.
And there's the girl we don't know. And they're both walking way out in front of O'Brien.
You think O'Brien's gonna shoot him?
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Oh, Cisco's there too. He probably won't let O'Brien shoot him.
I mean, I don't think O'Brien would ask for permission. Well, if we walk, we'll never make it there by 10. 10, 12, 11, 10.
255 AD, I don't know.
Oh.
One of the Doomsdays had an itchy trigger finger. Sorry. I'm a little edgy. I need my fix. David, I know, right? Well, that sounded ominous. I'm sure it's going to be fine, though.
Because you have the opportunity to make a deal. I don't make deals. That's not my job. It is not my place. Well, that's that. Come with me like I asked you to, and you can. He's having fun with this. Have you seen Roman Holiday?
Oh, yes. It's one of my favorite movies. I love Roman Holiday.
When she's getting the presents. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Which you will not accept. No, thank you. I think that's what he wants to say here.
Wait, I have one final condition. You can't kill Superman anymore.
I mean, depends on the length of the conversation and the circumstances. I think we're gonna find out.
You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave.
You're so clever.
Welcome to the hotel with the Vorta.
That's good. I did not see that coming.
Ah.
Oh my gosh, she looks like a child. Just especially running across the woohoo!
His little legs. Does it hurt when I do this?
Talk fast, because you ain't got a while.
Talk fast. Oh, okay. Well, gather around. You're going to see now, kids.
Mr. I love the ants. Yes. Farts extra hard this time. Revenge. Oh, revenge farts. If I was going to write a novel,
Revenge farts.
That needs to be the next title of our. That needs to be the title of our next fanfic collab.
Revenge farts. It's okay. I think he'll be fine. I waved a light over his injured parts.
That you know of. Maybe there's like a whole like Vorta, Gemidar, whoever colony over there, and they just don't like you. I bet he can make a rudimentary lathe. Double guitars. Wait, Steve, let me take this.
Yes.
I think it's also food.
I believe, yeah, they need, well, it gives them all of the nourishment that they need, and it supposedly provides like an enzyme that they need to survive.
So I knew it.
Yeah.
I remember the thing.
Well, you can tell from context, like that it's.
So you say.
Cisco's like, killing people? I'm down for that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right here, and you're so still, and my thumb is right here.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with them being human. It has to do them with their, societal regulations and nonsense. There are plenty of humans who don't follow those rules. It ain't biological. Oh, hey, you taking lessons from that Vorta dude?
Killing is my business, ladies, and business is good.
$255.80. Don't they need the white stuff? Like they do eat. They do need to eat.
Greg, I know what you mean. Vorta. Your autocorrect keeps saying Voyager. I know what you mean.
Boo. Oh, baloney. Shut your head. Come on. Seriously. There are different ways of fighting. $255.80. I don't think that's. I think it's entirely possible that the reason they don't feel hunger is because the withdrawal symptoms are much stronger. Like they're not. It's not that you can only have one or the other. Like it can provide nutrition, but the addiction is just more powerful. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just based on just human biology.
I see the Jem'Hadar are cleverly using the Jem'Hadar are cleverly using the walk right up to the enemy attack plan.
Well, yeah, they were given a dumb attack plan. That's kind of the point, isn't it?
Here's the plan. They're going to walk right up to you, and you can just shoot them. Watch my back. This won't take long.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit overly obvious. Oh my gravy, I believe it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they didn't have to use any additional lighting. Oh, we're stuck here? Lamb. No, not an error. That is not an error. Is not the bug, is feature. One step beyond. Is it now? Do your men agree? Yes! Thank you, Caitlin.
Well, looks like we're killing them. He told me to go F myself. F myself.
Okay, let us help you with that.
Garrick's like, let me get to the shooting, baby.
Leopards and faces, dudes. Leopards and faces.
Oh, got one. There's another one and another one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, shoot the squirmer. They're on the ground.
Doesn't taste.
All right, now go around and put one more in each of their heads just to be sure.
See, you're so much more humane than I am.
Liz, yay? Oh, one of the new people's dead. How unforeseen. Here comes this fucking scumbag. Am I late for the party? With who? There's like 5 of us. Form a burial detail. That's us.
Put the Vorta to work.
Ah. Hand this Vorta a shovel. The end. What'd you think of that one?
Do you want your communications array or not?
What'd you think of that one?
It was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable. Which part did you find the most? Which part did you enjoy most? When the nun hung herself in protest, or when they had to murder all of the enemy soldiers at the end?
I think I was curious about how I enjoyed the fact that I wasn't sure how that was going to go. The showdown, wasn't sure if they were going to get through or not. That was enjoyable to see how that went. And then of course my projector / touch screen thing, which I never I don't say never, very, very minimally use as a touch screen. Just has been acting up so much this week.
What does this have to do with anything that I just asked you?
Because I have to remind myself to stop, not say that or that, and just say, I'm being patient. Thank you. And I'm like, when he stops and she's just like, thank you for being patient with me. I am being patient with this. We're doing the best we can with what we have. I'm really frustrated right now. I'm going to do my best not to let that, come out on you guys. But please be patient with me. I'm pretty stressed and frustrated right now. I'm like, he's like, get that.
Gentlemen, remove this gentleman from my sight. I think this is one of these sleeper episodes of the whole series. It is not usually listed among like the absolute like top tier episodes of the series, but I think it deserves to be. I think it's a really, really, really good episode. Both stories are excellent. I mean, it's not, it's not like there's a B story for filler. Like the stuff with Kira on the station is amazing.
Like going back and forth. Yeah. Now I will say I'm granting it grace because, I do think Kira's, I think it's all like dialed up to 11.
Sure.
Because they're like, protest and I'm getting ready to shut them down. And I'm just like, you don't even know what the protest is going to be. Like, it could be a group of like 5 people saying, heck no, we won't go. Heck no, we won't.
Well, I mean, it's
or I mean, but on the other hand, if things get out of hand and they start and I don't remember, are there civilians still living like not
there's I think there are some. Yeah, there's some.
So like if there's civilians in danger, you're just like, okay, well, it's protesting, that's free speech, we're not going to get them. Like, yes they are. Like there's like, it's not like one or there's this whole space, and I was just like, yes, we're just gonna let that go, we're just gonna accept it.
Well,
aren't you proud of me?
Someone, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Someone in the chat mentioned, I mean, at first, Kira is just trying to do what Sisko told her to do. Like Captain Sisko, before the Starfleet detail left, basically said, just hold on, just hold out, because, the Cardassians aren't going to be here forever. Starfleet is going to come back, and like this is just going to be a temporary situation. So when Kira is saying to people who are like, we should protest, I think it's coming from that place of, to her, this is all just still supposed to be temporary. And she's trying to say like, let's just keep the peace and keep things calm and not have any incidents, and hold out for the good guys to come back. But not everybody has that faith, not everybody knows like, oh, Captain Sisko's coming back, like that doesn't really work.
Here's the thing though, having been to a protest literally since the last time we were here, like this past Saturday, having a protest doesn't mean not keeping the peace. You can have, like, the protest that I went to was in, I mean, it wasn't just like we're all sitting here in our lawn chairs. Things that are going on in America, not cool. You know, I mean,
yeah,
we had signs, we were yelling, you know, but I mean, it was overall a very positive vibe. We were protesting for you know, progress, and you know, and we were lining the streets, and we would just wave at people, and if they supported us, there were a lot of people who honked and waved as they went past, and some people would roll down their windows and cheer. We had some people come in, you know, a few who maybe flipped us the word. It was much more common. This is getting more and more common to do a thumbs down. I love that so much because
boo.
It's just like, you suck. It's much more juvenile and less aggressive.
And then you can give them the finger. You can be like, exactly. I'll be the grown up and give you the finger.
Well, I mean, I couldn't because I had to hold on to my sign, you see.
Oh, sure, of course.
So anyway, but yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, I'm just, you know, you kind of have to play with it, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to.
Well, but I mean, I think the point is the protest would have been provocative. Whether the protest itself was meant to be peaceful or not, the protest would have been provocative to the occupying force, and Kira wanted to avoid that. But like I said, like she I think initially she justified it by saying we're just holding on until Captain Sisko can come back. But like Caitlin said in the chat, you know, by this point the Cardassians have been there for months. Like this has gone from, well, don't worry, just hang in there, we'll be back. And now it's starting to feel like a more long-term situation.
Well, let's keep in mind, what month are we in now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
of all this,
all this. So,
and the thing is, like, yeah, go ahead.
I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, like her concern about the Cardassians cracking down on them. I would have loved to see. I mean, I think that would have added a little more nuance, or to see. I would have loved to see the protest begin to escalate and see that fear on her face. And again, there's some, because this isn't just one episode. This is the story, we're moving on. I do like that. I like the fact that they're doing. I think they're doing a really good job of pacing it. Like this episode feels like a whole mini story within the larger story. I like that.
Oh, very much. Very much.
I'd love to see more shows do these sort of mini season arcs where it's not just like a short season where we'll have like a 6 to 10 episode season, but like a four episode arc of like a slightly longer story that fits into the overall season arc. But then there's also within that, there's, you know, the one episode, here's what
individual
happens
here. Yeah. Oh, I agree. I think that's how, I think that's how everything should be written. I think that's the best way to write a series. Is to do.
And let's be honest. I mean, it's really hard to do. So, and I mean, of course.
Well, it is. Yeah, but I mean, you just have to break everything down. I mean,
well, but I mean, and we're saying this, but like as a you know, as smaller creators, like not, you know, pretty much independent, occasionally collaborative, but we don't have to worry about executive meddling, and that can really screw with things.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this season of Deep Space Nine especially does a good job at that, and I think when we get to season 7 of Deep Space Nine, especially when they get into sort of the home stretch and we get into like the last 9 or 10 episodes, they do a good job of that too, of having like, you know, it's the culmination of a big arc, but it's also a smaller arc unto itself that sort of leads into that. And then each individual episode is also, like, for the most part, a standalone episode. That's I mean, that's how that's part of it is. I mean, that's the way a lot of my favorite comic books were written when I was a kid, you know, like that's, I mean, I think that's Marv Wolfman came up with that structure for writing Legion of Superheroes, you know, that there would be like, there's the story of this issue that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's also a part of a larger arc that will, you know, be resolved over the course of several issues. But then that story also serves to forward an even larger arc that will eventually get paid off somewhere further down the road. Like, you know.
Kerouac asked what I thought of the board in this episode. I liked
255 AD, I see you. Just relax, okay?
We're
talking about a lot of stuff.
I liked I mean, I liked the way that it built up. I really was not sure which direction it was going to go for that, the final showdown. I wish they had, like, I didn't realize that it was the anxiety due to that being one of the withdrawal symptoms, that was what made the Vorta who shot early, that was what made,
you mean
so...
the Jem'Hadar. The Doomsday people are the Jem'Hadar. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Right. Okay. So what did I think?
The Vorta was the one. The Vorta was like the sleazy guy who was in charge. Yeah. The guy who sent them off to get shot. Kevin. Was his name.
Yeah. He was nothing that I didn't expect. It took me a minute to realize he wasn't the other guy, Weyoun.
I mean, because of the years.
Well, but also the hair color and the cut and the complexion are exactly the same. Well, I did notice. I'm like, wait, he looks, and of course the lighting is really really dark and dull. So I'm just like, hang on, no, voice is a little off, but that's not. And of course his voice is off because he's talking a little bit like this. His voice is strained because he's injured.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not just an affectation. He actually has a different voice because he's a different guy. So
because he has a different voice because he was a different guy. Okay. Yeah, I really like Kevin. I think he's just a huge piece of shit. Like he finds himself in a bad situation where he's running out of the drug that he needs to control his men. He knows that, if he loses control of them, they're going to kill him. So he says, okay, I'm doing what I need to do to save my sorry ass and fuck these guys.
Do you think the other Vorta are jealous that they aren't cloned? I have no idea. Hang on just a minute. I want to grab something from right over here because we've been talking about things that relate to something that I wanted to share.
Okay. While she's getting that, 255 AD said earlier, my opinion is it's fine for Kira to try to do appeasement for herself, but trying to oppress others is crossing a line. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, let me see if I can find this.
So yeah, what you got?
So this is one of my favorite books. I don't think I've done a favorite book video on this because goodness knows I haven't done a video in a while. But this is The Hiding Place, which is one of the memoirs for Corey ten Boom. Yes.
Yeah.
And she has gotten out of this is after she gets out of the camp. And I'm wondering if maybe I'm remembering the wrong book because there's more than one memoir. The NSBers, yes. Okay. Nope, hang on. I don't see it. Dang it, maybe I'm remembering.
Philip, that's perfect. What's the collective noun for Weyoun's? A seminar of Weyoun. Or, well, an asshole of Weyoun's is good too, Caitlin. I kind of like seminar, though.
Okay, it stopped. That must have been from one of the other books. So after she got out, I wish I could remember which book was in and share it. So Corrie ten Boom was from Holland, the Netherlands, and she and her, the reason that the book is called The Hiding Place is because her house was kind of like what we would call a split level, except that most of it was a row house. And so most of these townhouses were not split levels, but her house was set up really weird. And so they were able to use that. They brought in a bricklayer who made a brick wall that was about 1.5 feet away from the real wall. And so they inlaid in the brick wall, they put a bookshelf, and the bottom shelf of the bookshelf had a false bottom, had a false back. They could slide away, and then people could crawl through to get into the secret room. And so they had Jewish people who were en route out of, who were trying to flee Europe entirely, right. I suppose.
This was during, I don't think you mentioned, this is during like the Holocaust.
World War II.
This is, yeah, World
during
War
the Holocaust.
II. Yeah.
And so they are betrayed. They're betrayed. And so the Gestapo come and round them all up, like her entire family, and take them all. I mean, the ones who are left, because she is, gosh, I think she's got to be at least in her 50s at this point, possibly 60s. Because I think, no, maybe even older than that, because her father is over 100.
Okay, let's not lose sight of the point of the story.
So because she is betrayed, that's why they get taken. Right. And so anyway, she is the only one of her family who survives the camps. And she goes back and she opens a home for people with mental disabilities. And at one point, as she's going and doing talks to raise money, someone comes up to her and says, I need to ask for your forgiveness. And it is one of these, what are called NSBers, people who were Dutch people who helped the Nazis.
Right.
Who were, she didn't say conspirators. What did she say?
Collaborators.
Who were collaborators. And it's not the guy who turned them in, because she pretty much remembers who it was. She knew somebody came in and was asking questions and it was just weird, or who she suspected. I don't know if she ever found out. And he offers his hand to her and says, I'm so sorry. Thank you for what you're doing. And she looks down and she's like, I am a Christian. I should forgive this man. And she looks down at his hand and she is like telling herself to take his hand and forgive him. And she cannot do it. And she does, but she doesn't walk away from him. What she does, she says, okay, God, I can't do it. I cannot forgive him. Give me your forgiveness. And if that's what you want, that'll happen. And then something changes for her and she's able to take his hand and say, you are forgiven. I don't remember exactly what she says, but it just shows, because that was, because she talks about, thinking about that and how that was a greater betrayal, not the Germans, the foreigners who came in and,
one of us them, siding with them.
Yeah. But one of us, for whatever reason, siding with them. And how, I mean, a woman who, gave up her, offered her life for the safety of others, lost her entire family because of it.
Yeah. And
the one that really was impossible for her to forgive on her own was not the Germans, but her countrymen. Yeah. And so that's the bit with, so yeah, if you have a chance to read The Hiding Place, it's just a really good read. Really, Kira's made me think about that's who she is. And so,
and that's, we've heard, like, previously in the show, you get the idea that, that's how the Bajorans in general regard collaborators.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that it's sort of one of the unforgivable sins of their society, as you can well understand. I mean, as you would imagine it would be.
And I think that's, it's something that it's related to something that I talk about as a teacher. That you can do your best. And you can do your best and have things work out and everything goes just the way it should, as best as it can. And it's not enough, because there are things that go on in your students' lives that are not things that you can do much about. You do the best you can and you hope it helps. And you don't know if it's going to help enough. And one way or another, you have to make your peace with that. And sometimes it's just really hard. This whole week has been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
I have some students, I usually pick up snacks.
Okay. I don't want you to, I mean, this is, I mean, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it, but this sounds like it's
close. So
very slightly related to the subject at hand.
sort of doing your best, then it's not enough. I was picking up snacks today for my students who stay after, and I said, can we go from picking up 5 cents to picking up 3? Because I have some who aren't staying after anymore because they don't need to. And I have some who aren't staying after anymore because they're basically mostly just not even coming. So, and it's hard because it's like, well, I could just like at the end of Schindler's List when he's like, I could have.
Oh yeah. I could have gotten one more. Yeah.
And so Kira's kind of in that place too. It's like, how much do I need to do? And if I do more, am I causing problems? Am I getting more people hurt that I could have helped if I just sort of held back? Yeah. What's the best thing to do in a bad situation? And you don't ever really know. Like, even if you do what you think is best and it doesn't work out, you don't necessarily know if you did something else, if it would have been better. Could have been worse, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You never know. Yeah.
So
you never know. Yeah. And you know, I think that's part of what makes that Kira story so compelling is that like she does ultimately realize or decide that, you know, she has done the wrong thing, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear, like she's in an impossible situation. You know, like she's in a really, really, really hard situation. And, you know, we sympathize with her, even though we totally get, like, you get the message before she does that, oh, this has become normal for her. You know, like having these space Nazis that she used to fight against be her colleagues. This has become normal for her.
That's what one of the things that hit me at the time that I didn't say anything about. I'm like, she's seeing them as people.
Oh yeah.
And
they're her coworkers. Well, they're not invaders, they're her coworkers now. And that's, you know,
either way, that's a category, but she's seeing them as individuals. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think we could have a whole nother couple of hours of conversation about that, you know, because one of the things that I think it's easy to do, especially in terms of like space Nazis specifically as a group are like, they're just the bad guys. They're evil, blah, blah, blah. And we kind of write it off. And I think it's just so vital to remember that Nazis are people too, not in the sense of being like sympathetic towards them, but in terms of being humble about ourselves and about what's going on around us. Don't forget that this can and does happen. It's not just, oh, they're just evil people. Don't take that easy road out. Don't take that easy out. They are people. They made choices that seemed perfectly reasonable at the time. They made excuses for, you know, their behavior for doing things a little bit wrong, for making what seemed like little changes. Like, you have to know, you have to think about, like Kira does. She thinks, oh, I've gone too far. What do I do now? Which, of course, makes you interested and want to watch the next episode.
Absolutely.
Which I will say, I do. I am
interested
in how it that's one of the things that this was successful about. It makes me want to see what happens next.
Oh, good. I want to acknowledge 255 AD's question. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good or bad thing about Christianity that it asks people to be forgiving in these kinds of situations when most would agree it's an unreasonable demand? I mean, I don't think there's any problem with encouraging people to show grace, you know, to be forgiving. I think the problem is Christianity doesn't really ask you. Christianity, and most forms of Christianity, obviously it depends on your church and your interpretation, whatever. But most forms of Christianity that I'm familiar with, it's pretty clear, like God is telling you, you need to forgive people because through Christ you are forgiven. And if God's willing to sacrifice his own son to forgive you your sins, well, then what excuse do you have for not forgiving someone else? And I think that's a little toxic. I think it's one thing to say, like, you know, you should be willing to forgive. You should be open to forgiveness. You should give people second chances. I think that's fine. But yeah, to say to someone like from divine authority, it is your duty as a, you know, a believer to forgive.
Toxic. My perspective has, maybe not always, but, you know, since then been, different, that God says you should forgive people, because if you can forgive somebody, it helps you let go of it, and it releases you from some of that toxicity.
Yes.
So forgiving someone else is actually good for you, and that's why you should forgive. And if you
I agree with that.
You can't. Yeah. And I do think a lot of churches don't take that perspective on it, that, forgiving others, hey, that's great for you if you can do it.
Yeah.
It's not nearly so gentle about it in most cases.
Yeah. I have found personally, there's that old saying, forgive and forget. I have actually found the second of those to be way more effective.
I'm good at that.
I mean, I actually have it. I mean, I am not in every case, but in many cases where I feel like someone has done me a terrible wrong or, whatever, it's much easier for me to just say, okay, we're done, and just kind of push them off the edge of the table of my life.
Like me with drivers who annoy me.
Yeah. And just be like, and I haven't forgiven them. They're no longer really in this anymore. And and that frees me. I'm not carrying anything around. I'm not like, oh, I hate that guy so much. Oh, I have to forgive him to lift this weight off my chest. There's no weight on my chest. I don't think about him at all. Yeah. But there's no forgiveness. Like if somebody fucked me over and then somebody else brought them up to me, I'd be like, oh no, fuck that guy. He's an asshole. But I'm not like carrying that around and being angry
and I think that's what forgiveness is. It's not necessarily. It's certainly not. It shouldn't be an excusing and being okay with what happened. No. That's not good.
Oh yeah. No.
I did want to acknowledge. Gregory asked, "Is there somewhere else?" This is the last episode on Apple TV. So we watched through Paramount Plus. I think it's also available on DVD. So
yeah. Yeah. It's all available on DVD, and a couple people in the chat are saying Amazon Prime as well.
Okay. And then Caitlin, I think that's just sort of, yeah. I mean, the whole idea that hurt people, if anyone who's being a nasty person, they suck, but also their life sucks. I mean, it's not, I've been in a place where I just mad at people. I just wanted to and it's kind of miserable. And so if you can just kind of get away, like I said, like when I do when I get around somebody who's just cruising in that passing lane, once I get past it, it's like I'm just
no problem.
I've literally moved on.
You've moved on, exactly. And if you can move on without forgiving, I think that's completely fine. I do think the most important thing is 255 AD says, the other day I saw a story about Trump and thought, I don't want him to suffer, but I would love to never have to think about him ever again.
I made you watch the live action Peter Pan from like 2003, didn't I?
We haven't watched it yet. It's on our list, but we haven't watched it. That's the one with
Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs is Captain Hook. Yes. I haven't watched it yet. No.
Old, alone, done for. That's just it's so good.
Well,
so yeah, I liked that this gave us so much to talk about.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It's a really good episode. It's a really good
It's
episode.
not like there's definitely some scenery chewing in there. Not as much as in some other episodes, but I mean,
it's Star Trek.
Like you said, it is kind of a low key but strong. It's kind of like coffee.
Well, I mean,
it's deep and rich. It's not real flashy like a margarita.
Yeah, it's kind of what I like about it. And I think one of the reasons why it flies under the radar for a lot of people is that it is basically a meat and potatoes episode. Like it is, furthering the big sort of story arcs for the season so far. And it's not like, obviously, I mean, it deals with very relevant real world issues and relevant topics, but it's not like an issue episode. Mm-hmm. It's not like there's obviously a political issue that is being, that this is being used as an allegory for, and the captain gives a big speech at the end to kind of bring it all together. It's not one of those episodes. It deals with real life issues in a really, really powerful way, but it doesn't play like that. It doesn't play like a morality play episode. So yeah, It's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, Caitlin, I saw that earlier, and I've been thinking about it, but I can't come up with it. So, like I said, the forgive and forget, forgetting. I am so good at that. I've got that down. So, do you think I am still good?
You want to play some?
I think
Wordmaster.
I think
you get you. All right, I think we've got it too.
Probably not want to next week because the town hall starts at 6 and it's at least an hour's drive away. So
what?
So next week the town hall's on Tuesday, so I might be getting in pretty late Tuesday night.
Oh, I see. So you'll be tired on Wednesday. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So yeah.
All right. Well, so before we end the show tonight, then we're going to play some Wordmaster. And for those of you who don't know what this is or haven't joined us before, this is it's Wordle with the serial numbers filed off. It's basically we're going to play Wordle together. And the way this works is in a moment you'll see the Wordmaster board that we're going to play, and Dana is not looking at the Wordmaster board. She is just going by my description of the circumstances, but she takes the lead and decides what words we guess. And of course, we invite all of you watching in the live chat to play along with us and throw in your suggestions. And hopefully, as we usually do, we will solve this Wordmaster puzzle together. So here is the Wordmaster board that we are going to be working. Dana, what do you say?
Let's start, as we typically do, with heart. Heart.
Heart. Oh my God, it's going to be another one of those.
Uh-oh.
Nothing from heart.
Wow. Well, let's go for lions. I think we came up with heart one time. Have we come up with lions?
I don't think so. Now, lions gives us every letter except L, but none of them are in the right place.
Oh, wow. Fun.
So there's an I, an O, an N, and an S, but none of them in those positions. HB Hag, I don't think it's anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Sonic could work.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And that, if nothing else, it at least moves the letters around.
Yeah. That's a good one, Caitlin. It could be Sonic. You want to try that?
Yeah, let's go for it. I think that is
Sonic. That's it. Nice job.
Good job, Caitlin.
Sonic,
Noisy,
one of my...
Noisy would have been another good one, too. Fun.
One of my favorite places to order from on cheat day.
Let me tell you,
Sonic.
You wouldn't even have to cheat for my order, which is the supersonic breakfast burrito with no onions.
Oh, and you don't, and there's no meat in that?
No meat. There is egg, so it's just not eggs? Vegan, but it is vegetarian. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian.
Empire Jeff, Solus wouldn't have worked because, or Soils wouldn't have worked because we did need the N, but Bison would also have worked. There's some really good guess.
Yeah, which makes Sonic even more of a of a brilliant.
I know, pick, we just got it right on the first new guess. We are so good. So everybody, don't forget, if you are a channel member or a patron this week, coming on Friday is Ask Away, which is where we all get to tell Steve what we get to write the script.
You get to, I love that this is how you frame this. It's not asking me a question, it's telling me what to say.
Well, in fairness, a lot of that is because a lot of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time, I ask you to tell a story about Wee Small Steve because I like stories about Wee Small Steve. They're just fun. So I'm just like, tell me. So I don't really write the script per se, but I give you the framework, and then
you give me the prompt, and then I, like ChatGPT, will just spit out some text.
Pretty much so, but with more facial expression. And so, yeah, that's Friday right here on this channel, 6 p.m., same typical time, but different day of the week and only every other week. Yes. So, hey, you are in luck because it is this week.
That's right.
And then if, alas, you are not yet a channel member or a patron, you can click that little join button down below, or you can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives and support Steve's work, which is so super very important. We all need a little bit of light in our lives. And then you can go on and you can find the little link to that Google form, and you have 1,000 characters of script writing to do. No pressure.
You don't have to use all 1,000 if you don't want.
You could even include swears.
You can. Yeah, absolutely.
Steve will swear on screen. I usually don't.
And sometimes you forget.
Sometimes I forget.
And then and then you do this.
Or sometimes the spirit moves me. I think there was a time like several months ago when somebody caught me and I was just like, oh, whoops. I was like, oh, like it was like 30, it wasn't us, but somebody noticed it in chat and I was like, oh, I did say that, didn't I? Whoops.
Whoops.
Just went right out there. I think, I mean, I haven't actually done it this year in class. So far I'm doing good. I think I let out. Yeah. I think I let one
just
out.
Now that you've said it, you've jinxed it, and tomorrow you'll be like, you little motherfuckers. Oh.
Yesterday and today it was
if it was gonna happen, it would have been yesterday.
Like on the really challenging days, it's easier to hold it in because you just got it the whole time. You're very aware of it. It's when it's just like blah 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 bloop, and it's like, oh yeah, there it went. Watch your language, there it went. So yes, so if you get a chance, so yeah, please do join. And even if you can't, if you don't have the financial wherewithal to do so, please at least join us on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, here, Eastern Daylight Time, by the way, here on the channel. Yeah, no, I don't like daylight time, but finally we're getting to the point where it is starting to be light when I leave for school again. And then join us. Steve will read the patron and member questions first and answer those, and then he will turn his attention to the chat, and then we'll all make fun of him. I mean, we'll all converse.
What, you know, yeah, exactly. In good spirits, in the spirit of fellowship. I want to acknowledge a couple of really, because I said, you know, I'll spit out a response to a prompt like Chat GPT. Gregory said Steve GPT. That's pretty good. But Steve Alexander, I think, takes the prize. Chat GP Steve. That's the one right there.
Oh,
that's the one right there.
That would be hilarious. I might invest in that.
I'm right here.
I know, but sometimes you protest.
Well, yes, I do have a will of my own.
Here,
that pesky.
Do that thing.
That pesky independent will.
And as Caitlin points out in the chat, don't remember.
Yes, charity links. Yes.
I was getting there. Check out the description. We have charitylinks.page where we have links to Ko-Fi and GoFundMe's from friends and associates of ours who can use some financial help. Helping people is good. But also in the description, I think you've also got some NGOs, what's the other thing? Non-governmental organizations. Charities just in general, you know, organizations that help people out, that actually do good stuff, as opposed to so much of what's going on in the world these days.
Indeed.
So yes, helping people is good. Find a way to get involved in your community. And in addition, come back and join us on Friday. I'll be in the chat. Steve will be here, you know, on camera. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. Oh, and next week, we're not watching DS9. What are we watching? We're watching Poirot, but which one?
We are watching Poirot. We are watching Jewel Robbery at the Grand Metropolitan.
Oh, I wonder if that's one they wrote for the show, because I'm not 100% familiar with that.
No. Well, that's the one we're watching. Jewel Robbery at the Grand Metropolitan. So that's next week. And Dana will be tired, because she will have been.
I really don't know. It depends on how it goes.
Going to a Marjorie Taylor Greene town meeting the night before.
I am very curious to see how it turns out. So yeah, definitely turn in next week to find out firsthand. I mean, again, barring catastrophe.
Hopefully you're out of jail by then.
Lots of knocking on wood.
You're out of jail by Wednesday night, so you can make it.
I don't intend to hit anyone. I will say I did have the phone number I made sure that I know who my lawyer is. The number's in my phone, and I make sure I have the number on my hand in case my phone
That's good.
taken.
That's good.
So
hi.
So
Caitlin, that is completely okay. Yes. That is always okay.
I think that's everything.
I think it is too. I think we can
call it a night.
Let's call it a night.
I will briefly jump in. Nobody got so I accidentally, so we have, for something or other, we have a spirit week, like a themed dress week this week. Not sure why, because it's a week after spring break.
So not Spirit Week, but Spirit Week.
It's a spirit week of some sort. Not sure what the occasion is. So today was Wear Red for Autism Awareness, and this was not planned, but I'd worn the jacket and the tights and boots that I've got on, and then I was like, I don't want to wear, because I had it with a gray dress. I was like, I don't want to wear that. I'm like, I'll wear my red one. And so it just sort of, I was like, shoo, synchronicity. And yeah, so that was fun.
School spirit without even meaning it.
Without even meaning it. And nobody commented on it. I was like, I actually participated by accident, but I did. Nobody complimented me.
See, that's the kind of shit where you need to go up to the front office during end of day announcements and just grab the fucking phone and be like, look here, motherfuckers. I just want to say something. I dressed for Spirit Week.
You realize how far the office is from my room? I go there, ideally, not even every day. I can, now that I'm not the yearbook sponsor anymore, I don't have to check my mailbox every day. So awesome. I go by the mailbox and I'm like, there's nothing in there. Yay! It's so great.
I don't have to come back.
Nobody is expecting anything of me.
Oh, that's the best feeling in the world.
It is. The empty mailbox, oh man, it just fills me with brief joy.
Nobody expects anything from me. Oh, this is so great.
Such a great feeling. So yeah, I've definitely ended the evening on a high note thinking about, my mailbox was empty today. Nobody expected anything of me.
Feeling.
My email inbox, let's not talk about that one. But my physical mailbox, that sucker was empty. It was great.
Yeah. Well, on that note,
picking my day up. Appreciate it, everybody. And everybody who left me no mail in my mailbox. Love you all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night, everybody.